I walk through walls, through darkness, through time, flowing through my veins like water in a pipe. It seems to me, my dreams flow down the cold walls of the dungeon in my subconscious, and my soul breaks into fragments, touching almost all organs. The state is brought to an incomprehensible level, and pieces of the past that have fallen out of memory do not let you sleep. I feel loneliness lurking somewhere in the depths of my soul, needles of fantasies that are like snakes writhing in my head, and my heart seems to freeze. I do not know how I got here, into this vast world with barbed walls and a toy sun. I see no reason to trample this earth further. And I don't feel a drop of life in me, like a zombie. We're all zombies here. In this ruined world, painted by our own generation. It was a fateful day for many. As predicted, it's an environmental disaster, and not like in movies, books, or computer games. Everything aficionado.com.ua it was real. While the children were sleeping quietly and carefree in kindergarten beds, the school children were trying to learn something. The adults were again trying to earn even more money, and nothing foreshadowed the danger. Huge explosions took place all over the world. And it was as if the sky had exploded, a nasty blue mess, colorless threads of rain. And now the whole world is in ruins. Humanity is almost completely destroyed. What will happen next? We were 16, school children, very young, windy. And out of 33 there are only 2 left. Me and her. We were walking through a city that was frightening, but at the same time fascinating. Dilapidated houses showed us tons of electronic flame hanging from window mouths, rusty hair dangling from poles with scraps of wires. Everything sparkled, shimmered, lived and died. The streets were empty. Only fragments, debris, and broken cars reminded us that there had once been life here. It was scary. What can 2 girls do, alone against a whole, ruined world? aficionado.com.ua It's a cold and silent world, littered with human corpses. People have destroyed themselves in pursuit of their mundane desires. It's a beauty, but it's not the kind of beauty with flowers and castles. It's the cold majesty of a scorched earth. This is the monumental beauty of a dead world. And we were just slum heroes. A square opened up in front of us. There were many identical collapsed apartment buildings with dark windows all around. How many people lived here? 1,000? 2. Once upon a time, not very long ago, children played in the courtyards, adults hurried to work in the morning, cars honked, voices could be heard. I closed my eyes, waiting for the garlands of lamps on the lampposts to flash again, for light to enter the apartments through the curtains, for adult voices, children's laughter and crying to fill the street. In my mind, this picture overlapped with reality and seemed to penetrate into it. It seemed to me that the city was about to come to life. Nothing like that happened. aficionado.com.ua The deserted city froze in the cold evening silence. We continued walking through the silent and frightening city, through dead alleys and scorched grass, terrified by every shadow and sound. I didn't want to die, but there was no reason to live on. Our world has been destroyed and we are destined to fall with it. My hopes for life died along with the magnificent old oak tree that grew near our school. I do not know how long we walked, how many streets we passed, but it was too scary, and my heart was bursting out of my chest, as if waiting for something. What could be worse? What? The smells of rotten meat filled the air. People, or rather, remnants of people, began to come to life. No, They couldn't come back to life. They couldn't live anymore. They just got up and came to meet us, as if they felt the life in us, the life that could be taken away. They were coming towards us, but they didn't have the strength to scream, even aficionado.com.ua whisper. To the cliff, it sounded in my head. Just like that, just there. I looked at the girl standing next to me, so dear to me. We exchanged glances and realized that we were thinking about the same thing. If you die, it's beautiful. It probably makes sense. We ran hand in hand. That's the cliff, the last heavy steps and deep sighs. Jump. I didn't feel anything anymore. My eyes started to close. The body was no longer active, and the thoughts did not exist. All that remained was utter emptiness and that same feeling of incomprehensibility. It seemed to me that I was falling down. The darkness enveloped me, and I fell. To my surprise, it was too soft, warm, and smelled like medicine. I opened my eyes. The bright light swallowed up the darkness that had surrounded me before. What's it? Paradise? A scream burst from his chest, which turned into just a whisper. Where am I? They didn't answer me. I'm not estrashno.com.ua. I was waiting for an answer. It was a spacious room with one window, closed forever by an iron grate. It was spring outside, the one we were all waiting for. And I was tied to a white bed like everyone else in this room, but I clearly saw everything that was happening outside the window. I wanted to go there, in the spring. Suddenly, the door to the white room opened and a woman entered, strange, scary, and incredibly beautiful. She smiled maliciously and said, "Welcome to the mental hospital, sweetheart." After giving me an injection, after which my thoughts left me again, she disappeared into my mind along with the room. I was alive. Our world has stayed with us. And that's the main thing.